Hello there, and welcome to today's episode of the Easy EdTech Podcast. My name is Monica Burns, and I am so glad that you're here to join me today. If you want to make the most of education technology, aka EdTech, well, you are in the right place. My goal has always been to help make EdTech easier and give you ideas you can try yourself, share with a colleague, or bookmark for later in the school year. Every Tuesday here on the Easy EdTech Podcast, you'll hear stories from my time in the classroom, the work I do now with schools and districts, and my travels to different EdTech events. Get ready for solo episodes where I share some quick tips and stories, and interviews full of practical ideas and stories from new guests each month. If we mention something you'd like to check out, make sure to click the link. You'll find it in the episode description or the summary area where you're listening to this podcast, or you can find every episode and all of the resources we mention by going to classtechtips.com/podcast, or by going to classtechtips.com and just clicking on the Easy EdTech Podcast button at the top of the page. This episode is sponsored by my Easy EdTech Club, a membership designed to help K-12 educators save time and simplify technology integration. When you join, you'll get instant access to dozens of months' worth of content from the past couple of years, plus new masterclasses, guides, and resources each month. It's all self-paced, so you can dive in whenever it works for your schedule. Head to easyedtechclub.com to learn more and sign up. That's easyedtechclub.com for all the details. Hello there. This week's episode is titled How to Create YouTube Playlists to Share Free Videos with Students. And if you've ever wanted to create a collection of educational videos that kids can access pretty easily, a YouTube playlist is the perfect way to do it. It's a simple way to organize and share videos in a format that you set up, whether it's a start here and watch these videos in order, or a collection for kids to pick and choose from. And in today's episode, we're going to go through how to make a YouTube playlist and some of the reasons why it can really be a powerful classroom tool, as well as something kids and maybe families could access outside of the classroom. Now, I've shared lots of resources related to YouTube in the past on both the podcast and the blog. I actually have a blog post with some screenshots that goes through what we're talking about in today's episode for you to reference, and I'll link out to all of that in the show notes for you. We're going to go through the steps together today of making a YouTube playlist. But before we do, let's unpack, what a YouTube playlist is and why you might want to make one for a group. Well, a playlist, and today we're talking YouTube playlists, is a collection of videos grouped together so they can be watched in a specific order or at a student's own pace, giving them the agency to bounce around and choose which ones they want to explore. So instead of sharing individual video links or a list of links for kids to click on, you can provide one single playlist link that makes it a lot easier for students or maybe colleagues and families, depending on who you're making a playlist for, to navigate. They're useful for lots of reasons, like organizing videos for a research project, providing tutorials for independent learning, curating content for small group instruction, or, like I mentioned, sharing resources with families or even colleagues. So let's jump into how to make a YouTube playlist. Now, doing this is fairly simple. It doesn't require a premium or paid account. You can do it with a school-based Gmail, Google account if you have one, or your own Gmail, Google account if you want to make it with your personal account. So first off, you would sign into YouTube. And if you already have a Google account or you use Gmail for your email, then you already have quick access to signing into YouTube. You're going to sign in using those Google credentials or single sign-on. Then you're going to search for a video or open a video that you want to start with. Maybe you already had a vision of a favorite video that you want to include in a playlist, so you would start there. You'll want to, of course, want to watch the video, just like we're reading that article in the newspaper before we cut it out and share it with kids in the older days. So we're going to watch that video start to finish to make sure that it meets the quality and the relevance, all the things that you want to make sure it meets before sharing with students. And then you'll go to that save button. So right below the video, there's a save button, and this will give you some options. You can either add that video to an existing playlist or create a new one. So if this is the first time you're setting up a playlist, of course, you'll go to create a new playlist, but then you'll follow those instructions of finding a video and saving it to a playlist next time, right? The next video you want to add. So you will go to create a new playlist, and that's where you can enter a title for your playlist. Maybe something like Intro to Fractions or Water Cycle or whatever it is that's going to describe that collection. Then you have the option to choose the privacy settings. There's public, where anyone can find and view the playlist. Unlisted, so only those with the link can view it. And private, so only you can see the playlist. For classroom use, unlisted or public are going to be the best options. You'd only want to make it private if it's just for you, or maybe you're setting up a playlist and you're not quite ready to share it just yet. And the same thing goes if you're making one you want to share with colleagues or families. You'd want it to either be public or unlisted. Then you'll add more videos. Like I mentioned, you'll repeat this process to add more videos to your playlist. So instead of hitting or tapping on create new playlist, you'll simply add it to an existing playlist, like the one you just created. And you can find the playlist that you've made in the past anytime by clicking the library on the left-hand menu in YouTube. So once your playlist is ready, you'll open it up. Remember, you could just go to your library in your account to find it if you're not sure where it is. And then you'll click the share button. So you'll get a link that you can copy and share with students, families, colleagues, you name it, whoever you want to get in the hands, right? Get that playlist in the hands of. So now that we went through the steps, I remember I've got screenshots in a corresponding blog post I'll link out to in the show notes, but you could always do a quick replay of that last minute and a half or so to go through. Remember, you're just finding a video, creating a new playlist, and then adding, and sharing when you're ready. So playlists can be a valuable resource for introducing new topics. So if you're teaching in a unit, maybe one on weather patterns, you can create a playlist featuring videos about different climate zones and cloud formations, extreme weather events, you name it. This could be something you give out in whole class, right? So everyone can explore on their own, or maybe you use it with a small group of students who've shown an extra interest in a particular subtopic. Maybe something you're not teaching fully, but you know they have an interest in and it's adjacent to your bigger learning goals. You can also create playlists tailored to different student needs. Maybe it's students who need a step-by-step tutorial and could really benefit from some tutorial videos to help reinforce concepts. For learners who could really benefit from an extension or exploring some more complex topics, or maybe your multilingual learners, students who are learning English as a new language, you could curate content that has strong subtitles or maybe explanations that are at a slower pace. Another reason you might decide to create a YouTube playlist is to give it as a reference for kids who are working on projects or reviewing content at home. So instead of having them search the internet for reliable videos, I mean, that's a great skill, but it just might not be what you're focused on for this particular moment of instruction. You can give them a pre-approved selection that's basically ready to go. And if you've read my book, the new edition of EdTech Essentials, 12 Strategies for Every Classroom in the Age of AI, then you might remember the chapter on curate. So this is an opportunity where you're curating or handpicking resources for students by making that YouTube playlist. So a couple things to keep in mind, just some best practices, if you will, for creating effective playlists. You'll want to curate thoughtfully, choosing high quality, age appropriate videos that align with your learning objectives. You want to keep it organized. Arrange videos in a logical order if sequencing is important. You can provide context, so adding descriptions or timestamps in the playlist description to help guide students. And you'll want to review regularly. You can check your playlist every once in a while, definitely year to year, if you're doing this, every year for a new group of students related to a unit of study. And then you can update or remove content that's maybe not, up to date or exactly relevant for that particular group. So I love playlists. YouTube playlists are a great way, really straightforward way to organize educational videos in a place that students, families, colleagues are often watching videos anyhow. We know that YouTube is a very popular search engine, even for podcasts. You can listen to this podcast on YouTube too. So whether you're looking to enhance your whole class instruction, differentiate learning, or support students outside of the classroom, a well-curated playlist can make a big difference. So follow these steps from this episode. And if you're looking for some more curation tips, as I mentioned, there's a chapter in the new edition of EdTech Essentials all about curate, and I've even got a free study guide for the book. You can find it in the free stuff section of my website. So let's make this EdTech easy with a few key points from the episode. Making a YouTube playlist is simple and free. Group videos by topic to support instruction. Share one playlist link instead of multiple video links. Use playlists for differentiation and independent learning. Remember, you can find the show notes and full list of resources from today's episode by heading to easyedtechpodcast.com. This episode is sponsored by my Easy EdTech Club, a membership designed to help K-12 educators save time and simplify technology integration. When you join, you'll get instant access to dozens of months' worth of content from the past couple of years, plus new masterclasses, guides, and resources each month. It's all self-paced, so you can dive in whenever it works for your schedule. Head to easyedtechclub.com to learn more and sign up. That's easyedtechclub.com for all the details. Thank you for listening to this new episode of the Easy EdTech Podcast. I love creating new episodes for you each week, but I could use a bit of help spreading the word about the podcast. Can you leave a rating or review on your favorite podcast app? Spotify will let you tap on the stars, and Apple Podcasts will let you tap on the stars and leave a 1 or 2 sentence review. Thank you so much for taking this extra step. It helps other educators find episodes like this one when they're searching for EdTech tips.